Ben Zinn with nextlevelguitar.com, and today we have another one of our Inspired by lessons for you. We're going to take a look at some cool pre-bending and slurring techniques that you guys can use when you're playing over sort of a bluesy, classic rock sort of vibe. Hey, before we continue on, please take a look at the link down here below in the YouTube text box. There's a link for a free video lesson and a corresponding ebook. We'll send that to you from nextlevelguitar.com, absolutely free. A lot of great stuff in there, so please check that out and we'll continue on. Okay, so the progression that I'm playing over here is just B7 to E. Pretty straightforward, B7 to E minor, I should say. Pretty straightforward, but let's check out those chord voicings for a review. B7 I'm playing in the open position. For a little tension note, I can scooch up here and grab the 3rd fret on the 1st string. And resolve to an E minor, just open position. And if you want to play the rhythm parts of this, something nice and easy and groovy to do is just kind of a boom chick rhythm, 2 measures on each chord. So what I want to take a look at today in particular is doing some pre-bending, which is bending the string before we strike it with the pick. It's a nice technique, nice little technique to have in your bag of tricks when you want to do something a little bit different. Kind of sounds a little bit different than just bending the string up and down and releasing it. So let me show you one of the examples I played in the intro that features that pre-bend. Okay, so I'm starting up here on the 2nd string at the 10th fret, and what I'm going to do is I want to pre-bend this up to the 12th fret before I strike it. So I'm going to bend that ahead of time and then strike the string and release. Gives it a nice falling sound. How do we get that accurately? Practicing for muscle memory. When we're working on bending, we have a target pitch. In this case, the 12th fret is my target pitch. So I want to practice ahead of time getting that in tune. Once I feel confident in my muscle memory, I can bend that ahead of time and release. In the example, I followed that up with a hammer-on pull-off lick. So what I did there was I played 3rd fret, 2nd string, hammer on to the 5th fret, pull back off to the 3rd fret, and then pull off open. Remember especially when we pull off to open strings, to pull down and out to keep the string going. And from here, I went to the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and I bent this pitch up a whole step. So that's basically the same pitch that I just pulled off to. Not basically, it actually is. Exact same pitch. So we're getting the same note in 2 different places. Kind of a cool sounding effect. Pulling off to that note and then bending back up to it. So you're going down into a note and then raising up to one. To resolve that lick, I released off of my bend and kind of a quiet pull off there. I'm not really exaggerating that pull off a whole lot. Resolving here to my fret, 4th string. Another fun thing that you can do, this is kind of moving on from that phrase, bending this note, 2nd fret, up a whole step. This takes a little bit of oomph to get it all the way up there. And I use reinforced bending here. I use my index finger to help me pull, bending that pitch up to here. Works really well over the B7 chord in the chord progression because that note is in the chord. Let's take a listen. So you heard when the chord changed, I gave you that additional bend there, the 2 up to the 4. So something else that you can add on if you like there to the end of that phrase. Really what you can take away from this is the 2 slurring concepts that we talked about, the pre-bend and then the hammer-on, pull-off concept. These work in a lot of places throughout your different scale patterns. For example, if I'm playing, let's say I'm playing a natural minor up here, 12th position. We'll start by descending. 15, 14, 12. 15, 13, 12. 14, 12. 14, 12. 16, 14. 12. 15, 14, 12. 15, 14, 12. All together. So if I'm working out of that sort of vibe, there's all sorts of opportunities for pre-bent notes. For example, I have a half step here, and I can pre-bend my 14 up to 15. I can pre-bend my 15 up to 17, which is the same as this pitch here. In context, let's see how that works. Opportunities exist all over the guitar. All you gotta do is search them out and find them. They're in your scale patterns, they're in your single strings, in some cases they're even in your chords. So a lot of different options for you guys there as far as trying out those pre-bends. One last thing I want to leave you guys with today is hammering on and pulling off. We saw that concept in the opening lick. Well, we can do a whole run of that down a single string. Works out really well. I'm a big fan of learning our scales going horizontally. So if I can visualize, again, my E natural minor scale going horizontally. This is the E right here. This is the root note. Whole lot lot of great opportunities there for hammer-on pull-off licks. The main thing to take away from that is just the raw material, that scale itself, the octave of the E natural minor. And of course to have fun applying some of those techniques to that scale. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for joining us today. Once again, we're coming to you for nextlevelguitar.com. It's a great website. We have over 1,000 different video lessons there for beginners on up through advanced. A lot of great additional stuff that you guys won't find on YouTube there on the website. So take a look at that, and we'll see you back here next time.